Hi, folks, and welcome to some more Red Sox franchise here on Tisbury 33 Games. I'm Cody Shalafu. A season from hell, it really is. We had some opportunities this year to really kick ass and get ourselves back. It was this stretch right here, a tough stretch to begin the season, losing, 4 of our first 6. 8 of our first 9. We did not start the season off well. We had a pocket right here where we had to go out there and win. We just failed to do that. So that's failure number 1. We had another pocket somewhere along here. Atlanta, we got dumped by. Texas again. Minnesota. Detroit. We're just losing series back to back to back. We did have this nice stretch against Baltimore. But ultimately, nothing. We had this huge stretch right here. This is probably the best of our season. And immediately followed that up by doing absolutely nothing. And then in July, another end of the month, no favors, and we were already out of it by this point. So what is going to happen now? We are going to basically kind of just steam through this month, basically. And we're going to do that with the help of a couple of friends. With options remaining, we're going to move David Hamilton to AAA, Romy Gonzalez to AAA. We're finally calling up Christian Campbell. And we are calling up Roman Anthony. Marcelo Meyer will be joining us in September, and we most likely will be playing all through the rest of the season here. Meyer so far, 756 OPS. He's doing fine, but there aren't regular at-bats for him right now, but we can manufacture regular at-bats for our other 2 players. Campbell making his Major League debut here. Roman Anthony making his Major League debut here. Both struggling against lefties this year a little bit, but both have been fine and have been progressing and have been doing what they were supposed to be doing. Against right-handed batters, we're going to sit Wilyer Abreu. And Christian Campbell is also going to come in. We're going to sit Masataka Yoshida as well. We're going to then move Bregman back to third base. Campbell is going to play second base. We'll configure the lineup how we see fit. But right now, Wilyer isn't getting the job done. And this kind of sucks for his trade value as we try to flip him. Because with Roman Anthony ready and raring to go, while Abreu right now is better and he has that track record. Like, this is our guy. Like, this is our project. This is the guy we are banking our future on. Willier's awesome. He's great, but we want to prioritize the development of Roman Anthony while we can, and Abreu is going to be our top trade chip coming this offseason if we decide to go that route. Masaki Yoshida having a good season, but it doesn't matter, like, if he's playing good. Like, he is not part of our long-term plans. We don't really know how to get rid of him. So we're going to offer that up to Christian Campbell. Now in AA, David Hamilton is going to be able to get consistent reps. Von Grissom hasn't done anything in his 81 games here. Neither has Nick Sogard. So at least let David Hamilton, who has a future on this team as backup infielder, spot starter against righties, and a speed option off the bench, let him get going. And Romy Gonzalez, nothing against Romy. I think he's awesome. I think he's part of this team going forward, but hasn't really killed it. And again, we're just prioritizing the other 2. That just simply is what it is. If we look at the roster here, we're most likely going to be DFAing guys like Liam Hendricks, who just don't have a future with us. Does have another year of his deal, but I think that's more of an option. If we designate for assignment here, 7 days to trade them, place them on outright waivers, or release them, continue with the move. What is our goal if we to get rid of some of these relievers that, like Austin Adams, Justin Wilson now has no value to us and really hasn't actually been doing very well. Maybe we just leave the relievers as it is, because right now the only guys like Dick Fitz, Quinn Priester is nice, but he's not going to be getting like regular rotation time. Patrick Sandoval we've called up, so we'll let these guys continue to go. Zach Penrod is back from injury, so is Luis Perales. They're both back from injury. So right now it's prioritizing developing our young guys, and we will do that. We'll be showing a lot of them. We'll be doing their first couple of series and their first couple of games, and then we'll probably get through the rest of the season here. I'll pick some spots here and there. Are they, now that they're on the major league team, eligible for contract extensions? Not quite yet. Maybe next year we look about trying to lock down some of these guys. So we will see you when we see you, and on to the future, at least with the Red Sox. So let's check out what Christian Campbell and Roman Anthony do in their first major league action. It's the moment that we've all been waiting for, really, since the beginning of this series. Is when were the big three going to come up? We saw them a little bit in spring training. We saw they had their own video talking about kind of when they were going to come up, and now that the season's lost and we did not do what we thought we were going to do with this iteration of the Boston Red Sox, it's time to embrace the youth. We're going to start with the debut of Christian Campbell and Roman Anthony later on in the video. We will be calling up Marcelo Meyer, and we will be playing a few games with each of them. But first, let's get their first true action. Campbell, of the big three, actually has done the best in the minor leagues. Probably him and Meyer. None of them really were all too impressive. But they're ready to go. Again, we're ready to go. It is what it is. Let's start off this game against Houston, where Jeremy Pena is going to hit one into the gap. It's going to split Rafaela and Anthony out there in right field. Anthony will be moved to right field primarily. Campbell on the relay, and they got Pena out. Man who played his high school ball in Providence, played his college ball in Maine, and this is kind of a homecoming for him, and he is gunned out. Campbell part of that relay, and already the young kids making a good impression with Campbell helping out defensively. And then again, Patrick Sandoval, who is back from injury. This one's skied to center field. Rafaela is there to make the catch, and that will do it for the first inning. So a double, but it's a race trying to stretch it to a triple. We got our first Christian Campbell highlight already, and we are moving on. It's going to be Hunter Brown on the mound for the Astros, a 3.47 ERA and 119 innings pitched, and Jaron Duran has a present for him to begin the game. Pitch comes in, he sauces it into right field. It's going to roll up against the short wall, and great job by the right fielder getting to it quick, but the only thing quicker is Duran on the base paths. It doesn't really matter how fast the right fielder got to it. It's a 30-second double for Jaron Duran. Bregman facing off against his former team, I believe, for the first time. So it comes all the way past the trade deadline before you have to wait for that reunion in real life. He strikes out, and then Tristan Casas with 2 down the inning. It's a fastball. He times it up just under it, though, and that pops it straight up right behind the mound, and that will do it. So a leadoff double turns into no runs for the Red Sox, which is not what you want to do, and it's kind of been our story. And it's going to be 1 hit apiece through 1, no score as we move ahead. Yanier Diaz is going to hit one to Campbell. Starts the double play. Like to see that. That's the one part of his game that we're still working on, is the defense of the big three. Still the lowest rated defender, and especially at the Keystone at second base. You want a good defender there. You don't need to be crazy good. You don't need an arm, but you do need to field it well. And here's the first at-bat for Roman Anthony. He takes an 0-1 circle change deep into center field. This one's hit a ton, but right at the track, literally jumping up at the wall, is the center fielder. And Anthony looking for extra bases on his first chance here, and he gets robbed of it. And then Connor Wong, perfect cutter right down the middle. He gets robbed of it. Jake Myers, I believe, the guy out there in center field. Yep, it is Jake Myers. So we get 2 real good swings. We show nothing for it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Top 3, Chas McCormick batting a solid 192. And he puts into right field. Anthony dives, can't make the catch. And he tosses it back into second base, but hold on up. Crumbled to the turf after that play, gripping at the calf. If it's only a pull, might return in 2 weeks. If it's torn, it could be 2 months. So in his debut, Roman Anthony gets hurt trying to make a diving play, and we are going to replace him with Willier Abreu. and no bueno. So we will see at the end of the game how severe that injury is. Campbell going to start it again and convert the second double play of his day. But hopefully everything's okay with Roman Anthony. We don't want to miss him for too much time. These are crucial developmental days, especially in the major leagues, especially if he can get like a hot start. He can hit 270 with a couple home runs and really get those ratings up. That'd be huge. We have 2 months to try to get him going, and this brings up Christian Campbell, the second baseman a lot of people thought was the most pro-ready coming out of camp, and decided to start him off in Worcester. And the first pitch he sees is lifted high, deep, left field, monster seats for Christian Campbell. First pitch he sees in Major League Baseball. It is a hit. It is a home run in three accolades. First game, first hit, first home run, first RBI, first run. A lot of first here for Christian Campbell. Gets them all out of the way with one swing of the bat. And Christian Campbell, welcome to the show, my friend. Athletic guy with a great approach at the plate. We didn't see the numbers in AAA that we thought we were going to see, but this is a great start to his career. First pitch over the monster. Not too many guys get to say that. Rafael Devers has said that a lot, though. He puts this one around the pesky pole. 385, kind of near where I like to sit when I go to Fenway in real life, right along that wall there. And Devers goes yard, and now it's 3-0. And the Red Sox taking the lead on the youngster's big day. The old veteran still reminding you how good he is. And Devers puts that into the bleachers. Casas a little bit early on a fastball, rolls it over, and that will do it for the third inning. So we do add a couple thanks to a Christian Campbell home run, thanks to Rafael Devers home run. Red Sox lead 3-0 against the Houston Astros. And also, again, first time Alex Bregman facing his old team. So that's good to note there. Connor Wong, he does not get robbed of a hit this time. Serving it into right field, kind of the same spot Duran hit his, and a little bit closer of a play, but still with that speed. Wong in there at second base, his 16th two-bagger of the year. Christian Campbell keeps this up the rest of his career. He's gonna have he's gonna bat 1,000 with so many home runs. First pitch swinging this time. Times up a fastball a little bit early, but is popped up, and 2 pitches, 2 swings, 2 varying results, and Campbell goes down to end the 4th inning. I haven't really seen much of Patrick Sandoval. You know what that means in these videos? It means he's doing pretty well. But this one into left field, and Duran tries to dive for it, can't come up with it, and another double for Jeremy Pena with 99 speed, his 32nd double, tying Duran. Casas lays out and robs Alvarez of a hit, but Jordan Alvarez still does drive in a run. Casas, good defense, as we say, steadily improving, and that's some good stuff we like to see from our young first baseman. Can Sandoval get out of the inning? Walker into right field. Abreu there now. He has a cannon of an arm, so it's 99 arm strength versus 99 speed, and the speed wins this time, as that is going to put Astros within 1, and then to finish off the 6th, Isaac Paredes to Trevor Story line out. And that's a pretty good day in the office for Patrick Sandoval, who was working here. Again, only had 70 pitches through 6 innings, but coming back from injury, kind of want to save him a little bit. That's probably the rest of his day. Another first pitch swing. This time another good, well-timed hit or swing just popped up, and the second time Campbell is popped up. Bregman diving, and this is going to tie the ball game. By him down the third base line, and Christian Walker, second RBI of his day, gives the Astros a lead. It is 3-3 now in the top of the 8th. Garrett Whitlock trying to get out of it, does get Paredes to fly out, but a lot of base runners here in the later innings, and we could not capitalize, unfortunately, at that moment. And Christian Walker does the damage. 10 hits for the Astros, that being one of them. And we really struggled to do anything after that. What was it, second or third inning when we put up those 3 runs? We really didn't do anything the rest of the game. And Willie Abreu strikes out there against Josh Hader. Justin Slayton, we're asking him to close the door. And infield in, if they're back, maybe that's a pop-up to Campbell, especially standing at 6'3". But Altuve, the ultimate, just hit him where there ain't guy in this generation, just does that. Hit him where it ain't. And Jordan Alvarez said, I'll do you one better. I'll hit it to the fans. This one, 420, blazing it over the bullpens. And, yeah, that is going to do it for this one. Just imploding late. The Astros just chipped, and then got themselves in a position where that one swing broke the Campbell's back, or the Campbell's back, as he swings and misses the first strikeout of his young career. So a home run, a strikeout for him today. And then Ceddanne Rafaela is going to fight off that pitch. And then 0-2 with a runner on third base, trying to keep the game alive. And he swings and misses at the slider, reverting back to his old chasing ways. And that will do it. So Houston comes in and wins, spoils the debuts, but we'll also have to check up on Roman Anthony. Let's see how severe that injury is, and if we're going to be missing him for a week or missing him for a month. Roman Anthony left his first major league game a little bit early, but that's all right. About a week or two for him, pulled calf, so that's nice. So he's not going to miss too much time. We'll let him rest, and he'll come back fresh and stronger than ever. Now we're going to move on and kind of focus on each player individually. First up, since Roman Anthony on the shelf a bit, I'm going to talk about Christian Campbell. And in this, we're going to look at Anthony, we're going to look at Campbell, we're going to look at Meyer, some of their first games in Major League Baseball. Just kind of discuss them. How they fit into our plans, and kind of the direction we're going to go with this team. So obviously a very disappointed team. We're going to be playing the rest of the regular season in this episode. At the end, we'll kind of go over some stats, both on the minor leagues and the major leagues, and see who did what and who won the awards. And you'll see that at the end. If you want to skip to that, it's probably around the 30-ish minute mark of this video. If you want to watch the Campbell, Meyer, Anthony's stuff, then for the next about 15 minutes we'll be showing highlights from various games I played down the stretch. I think I got at least 5 games with them each. Just pick some of the hits, some of the hard hit ball, some of the good defensive plays and whatnot. But first, starting off with Christian Campbell, again coming into camp this year, in real life actually just made the major league team. I'm recording this audio the day before opening day, so very excited for real baseball to be back on the tube. And Christian Campbell, while didn't have the most impressive spring, both in real life and in this game, as he hits a knuckle curve right into the triangle. This is going to be a bases-clearing triple, and Christian Campbell, a fantastic start to his major league career in this game universe. But we decided to start him off in Worcester, and we start all these guys off in Worcester. The plan was Campbell was going to be up soon, especially if you need the right-handed bat. But we thought just at the moment, let's just let him marinate, let him go and get what we need to do. Hit for a lot of power in Worcester, but wasn't crazy good. I think struggled against lefties in the universe here, so that a little bit lower ratings there. But overall, Christian Campbell's going to be fitting on this team for a while. I talk about it in a later video coming up pretty shortly. But we're going to hold off on extending these guys. Actually, I'll let that point again. I am recorded a little bit ahead. I don't want to spoil anything going on in the series. But we are looking at extending all 3 of these guys eventually. Just when that time is right, I don't know if I want to implement a thing where it's kind of like the injuries where we have the wheel. You can kind of cheese this game by giving every young guy an extension. Messing up their careers. Not every single young guy gets an extension in real life, but you do have the Bobby Witts and the Julio Rodriguez's of the world. I wish you could kind of structure the contract the way that they're structured, where it's like Julio Rodriguez for 13 years can make $200 million, but if he's like real good and he hits some of these incentives, he can make $400 million, which just makes so much sense for both him and the team. At base, you're getting a real good player cheaper than you would, But then is also, if he plays like an MVP candidate the whole time, he can be an MVP, get paid like an MVP candidate, so you're not really losing money in that regard anyway. But we will be trying to extend these guys at some point, whether it's next year, the year after, or so far. I'm still not decided if I want to give them like a wheel spin, maybe every off season, give them, just like we do with the injuries, pick a number. If they hit it, they'll negotiate. If they don't hit it, they won't even negotiate for a deal. I'll have to look into that, maybe look into some numbers, see who signs the extension. I know it's relatively new in the landscape, but either way, Christian Campbell in these game plays started off really, really hot. All three of these guys struggled a bit. You'll see at the end of the season kind of where their numbers ended up being, but we had some good moments with them. We saw Campbell obviously first home run in the Houston game and playing really well defensively. Great athletic guy, has an incredible approach to the plate. Or at the plate, excuse me, and he can be a superstar in this league, we think. A potential guy, someone we do want to lock up for the long term, and just really put him just at second base with a Marcelo Meyer or a Trevor Story, David Hamilton, whoever's playing shortstop on any given day. Just let them roll, and the bat, I think, is going to play. Whether it's right now or a little bit down the line, the bat is going to play. For a second baseman, has great power in real life, hit a 400-plus foot home run to deep center field in Mexico. We've seen him get some real good exit velocities in video right there. Just dumps a 77 exit velo into center field for the hit. But we saw him hit almost 90-plus, 95-plus. A lot of times in this that just resulted in weak contact or resulted in just right at somebody or over the wall, wherever it may be. But he's a guy that can probably be a good middle of the bat guy for us. And this was crazy. To win the game, diving, robbing Jason Hayward of a hit or of tying the game, and then going over to second base, which I was surprised by, but then getting the runner a little bit. That's a crazy defensive play for Christian Campbell, and he is steadily improving in that area. We are going to be asking him to get better defensively. You want good defense there at second base. And overall, I thought we were very, very pleased of what we saw from him in his little introduction. Roman Anthony did end up coming back and facing off against the Miami Marlins in his kind of spotlight, which is fun. The Florida boy facing off against Miami, and sends a rifle from right field to third base and gets the runner out. You love to see that. Great job by Roman Anthony. Now, this is the stud of the group. I think we have three studs, but this is the stud. Look at that. Lays into a circle change, hits it deep into right field. It's played relatively quickly, but just the speed, power, athleticism combination that he has, as well as the good plate discipline and great approach at the plate. Obviously not when I'm playing because I can't hit shit in this game. But yeah, Roman Anthony, just the swing is good in this game. I know, how many times have you played this game and you get a player with great ratings, but the swing sucks or you just can't time it up with him. He just has a nice fluid swing. You can see well against lefties and righties, and it feels like every time you make contact with the ball, it's going to do damage. Didn't do it there. Good, just a nasty 12-6. Nothing really you can do there. Can't bring the run home. A couple times he had the opportunity to win the game or put us ahead and just fell behind. That's more on me than it is on him. Does have some swing and miss in the game, but that comes with the power. That comes with just the raw athleticism and Greek god-esque way he is built. Can play a real good outfield as well. The fielding ratings in game are really good. He's a center fielder in real life, but most likely going to play the corners. Not because of his inability to play center field. You see a lot of guys come up as center fielders, but will they stick? A lot of shortstops up the middle. That's always the thing. Can they stick up the middle? I think he could stick up the middle, but we're not going to ask him to because we have Ceddanne Rafaela. And then right field, you kind of need a center fielder out there anyway. It's kind of like we have two center fields you have to play, and I think he's going to play it really, 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 really well. In game, as he gets a cutter, center cut, and that is his first career home run against the New York Yankees. First career home run for Roman Anthony. Shout out, Anthony. again, every time you swing the bat and make contact, you're like, this is going to be a line drive somewhere. And this one over that short porch in left field. And something that I want to see a whole bunch over the next few years is him hitting tanks in Yankee Stadium. Dripped out in the all-white uniform. I love to see that. But, yeah, the combination of just the age, the power, the speed, the plate approach, draws walks, does whatever. Roman Anthony's going to be real good for a real long time. We did the first 2 games against the Yankees with Roman Anthony. We played these next 2 games with Christian Campbell as the first real test against the Yankees. He's hitting .212 now, Campbell is. Gets a fastball, 100 miles per hour. He takes the other way, and he goes yard into the short porch. So Christian Campbell getting in on the fun home run-wise, and you love that. The young guys, their first taste of Yankee Red Sox baseball, and they're hitting jacks all over the place. And another Showtime quick time event here, and Campbell lays out, flips it to second base, and is going to get 1 of 2 here. Story had to rush the throw. But yeah, shout out Christian Campbell, shout out Roman Anthony. I think they're going to be real good, even if, the sample size here wasn't fantastic. Again, we'll see the stats at the end. I think the ratings are going up in the right direction. And again, in this game, unless you're really having a poor season, your ratings are pretty much going up if you have room to grow potential-wise. And this is a great piece of base running just right in front of the throw from Judge. And then the last at-bat we'll see before we head over to Marcelo Meyer. And it's going to be a single off Tim Hill for Christian Campbell. So for the first 2 guys, our 2 highest rated guys, I think they played well. We saw some real good stuff from them, and I'm very excited for the future. And now Marcelo Meyer, the guy who I think gets swept under the rug a little bit more. We talk about the big 3, but so many people, especially in the last couple of years, it's been Campbell, it's been Anthony, both those guys, top 5 prospects in the game and in universe here. The top 2 prospects in the game. Marcelo Meyer did peak at number 4, and welcome to Boston. Marcelo Meyer is right. He's up as a September call-up. And this is just a refresher on our top 10 prospects. And this is after I went and did some ratings adjustments for everybody. So this is what the top 10 prospects look like now. A little bit different, but the number 1 farm system in baseball, and our top 3 prize horses are up. It's Shane Bieber, the first introduction to Major League Baseball for Marcelo Meyer. He swings and misses the fastball high. Then he lays into a cutter, but does not get all of it into right field. Marcelo Meyer, big, smooth second baseman, or shortstop. Is he going to be the shortstop of the future? Yes, he will be. Next year, we have 2 more years of Alex Bregman, 3 more years of Trevor Story. So most likely, once Bregman leaves, we're going to have Marcelo Meyer play third for a year, and then Story finishes up. And then most likely, we think that Marcelo Meyer can fit at shortstop, which is going to be awesome. He bangs one off the monster there, brings in a couple in the first big league hit from Marcelo Meyer. It comes in day 2 of his big league journey. So shout out Marcelo Meyer, first career hit. Brings in a pair, and then in the bottom of the 8th inning, he is going to walk here. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to move Marcelo Meyer around. He has flexibility. We'll play him where he needs to be. Right now, the tough part is come next year, and we'll have the off-season video up next, and we'll decide what we're going to decide with these guys in spring training after that, where we make the final decisions. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to play? We have so many obligations we have to put on the field. Where are all these guys going to fit? I think we're going to make room for them. I don't think we're in a position to hold them back any longer. I think they're ready to go. Obviously, I think they're ready to contribute to a really good team. Obviously, that's not what we were this past year. If we were a lot better, maybe they don't see Major League Baseball this year, which kind of would have been a crime, as Marcelo Meyer gets a fastball center cut early on it into the bullpen off Hunter Gaddis to extend our lead 5-3. And the first career home run for Marcelo Meyer comes at home off one of the better relievers in the game and was waiting on that fastball, met it out in front, and he puts it into the bullpen for the home run. Shout out Marcelo Meyer. But overall, all three of these guys are going to be great. All three of these guys are going to be on this team for a very, very, very long time. And we saw flashes. We saw little bits and pieces of what they can do in the major league level in this video. Few extra base hits. All three of them had home runs. We saw some doubles, good base running. I think most of them, two of them took walks eventually in this video. A lot of strikeouts they cut out. But yeah, who do you think is going to be the best? I'm sorry for how this season ended up, but we got to see some of our new faces come up, and that's always exciting. We approach the end of the year. Now we like to go over some of the top performances, at least the worst performances in our entire organization. Here in Double A, we're going to check on who did what, why this is cool, why this is not cool, and Yolan Cespedes, a -2 WAR, did improve in a lot of places. However, only hit 197, a 529 OPS, 79 strikeouts, 52 walks, which is awesome, but just did not really have a great year. Only one home run, 18 total extra base hits in 120 games. Just not great from him at all. Our best player was Nelly Taylor, who accumulated 2 WAR in just 55 games. So that's a really good sight to see. He came up late here. Nathan Hickey played most of the year. The potential went down. Hit 11 home runs. Just didn't really have too great of a year with the bat. Miguel Blaze, someone that we're very high on, at least I am. 109 games, 7 home runs, 16 doubles, stole 6 bases, struck out 104 times in 109 games. 667 OPS, good for a 1.1 WAR. He was okay. Other than that, most of these guys, Nazan Zanatello, he got a little cup of coffee up here. He didn't do too hot. Most of these guys, there isn't much future for. Mike Romero, a guy who might be something for us one day. Justin Garcia played most of the season, and he did not have a good year. But we're looking for, did you progress? Did your ratings move up? For the most part, these guys did. And Jalen Palmer, who we got in a trade. That's fine. That's all we're really looking for here. So overall, no one really blew anybody out of the water. That's the unfortunate part. You didn't have any big years from Blaze or anything like that, but is what it is. Pitching-wise, we did have some real good performances. David Sandlin, his rating is going up. He had a 2.60 ERA. Brian Van Bell, a 28-year-old who's kind of hitting his ceiling. He was exceptional as well. Shane Johan, who I was shitting on Shane Johan, actually dropped his ratings a whole bunch. This is a guy that, okay, maybe this is someone who's not as bad as we thought and is having a really good year in Double A. Connolly Early, probably the minor league pitcher of the year for us. Just made all his starts, 153 strikeouts, 139 innings. All the ratings we like to see going up. He had an exceptional year. A lot of really good years for our guys. And again, this is same thing. We're looking for the ratings moving up. The stats here aren't super important. It's mostly the results and some of, are you doing the right process? Are you having the right type of year? Are you doing the right type of things? And pitching-wise, yes. Hitting-wise, in Double A at least, no. Triple A, we'll start with the hitters. And again, we will sort it by WAR. And it's Tyler Miller, who had the best WAR out of anybody with a 1.8. Again, someone's not really big in our plans. David Hamilton, his limited time here, 35 games, hit 275, 765 OPS, basically matched what he did in the major leagues. And again, his rating is going up, getting him playing time again. Dropping him down not because he's bad, but because we were looking for space for our home slice. What's his face? Christian Campbell, yes. And we'll get into their stats right after this. Carlos Narvaez, his ratings moving up the way we like to see it. Romy Gonzalez in his 11 games here was absolutely insane. For players that we are like keeping an eye on and caring about, most of them are up in the major leagues now. Nick Sogard, not great. Not great from what we saw from him all season. Just wasn't good. And then Von Grissom just wasn't good either. And both these guys cut candidates potentially if they don't get their shit together, quite frankly. Pitching wise, again, much of the same, a lot better, but we're just looking for that those ratings to go up, those processes to take place. Quinn Priester had a tough start to the season, but just absolute demon down the stretch. He'll be vying for a rotation spot next year, especially with those options being used. Dick Fitz, he was kind of the opposite, really hot out the gate, and then kind of struggled towards the end, but the 3.66 ERA in his last few starts, you can't blame that. 4 ERA is pretty good. Winkowski, good year. Chris Murphy, good year. Adam Ottavino, good year, even though he's probably going to retire. Zach Penrod, a really good year once he came back. Sean Newcomb, so good that his potential went up. So now it's like, all right, maybe we got to keep this guy around. Massachusetts native, played with Oakland the last couple years, and Atlanta, where he was really, really solid in 2018. And yeah, just never really quite did the same stuff again. Hunter Dobbins, good. Ratings going up. Noah Davis was good. Luis Guerrero bounced between AAA, AA, all that fun stuff. Jack Anderson was absolutely phenomenal, bouncing between both. We saw his performance in the Future Stars game. Then Brendan Colucci also had a good season as well. So finally, the dust has settled. We have finished the season. We lost 90. This is a team where we thought we were going to win 90 games. We ended up losing 90 games. Quick overview. We'll talk about everyone just quickly individually. Rafael Devers, he had a great season. 44 home runs, 88 RBI, which is just a funny home run to RBI total. And then 33 doubles as well. Extra base machine, just an absolute tank. 290 average, really picked it up towards the end of the year. A 909 OPS, his best mark since 2019, which was a career year for him. Put up a 4 WAR. Rafael Devers, the real deal Holyfield. What can you expect? Jarren Duran, much the same. We got exactly what we thought we were going to get from him, which was basically a repeat of last year. And really similar to last year. Maybe a tick below. Not as many doubles, 1 less home run. I did play in 12 less games, though. We got him a little bit more rest and then stole the same amount of bags. Again, basically a carbon cut copy from last year, and basically shared the same WAR. Strikeout percentage down a little bit, walk percentage up a little bit. We will take that from Jarren Duran. How many doubles? He had 40 doubles. Tristan Casas, an interesting year. Ended up with 28 home runs and 66 walks. Another guy who kind of turned it on late here. You see 5 home runs in his last 10 things. And this kind of sucks that you see a lot of these guys picking everything up late, because how about you just do what you're supposed to do in the beginning of the season, and then we're not in the position we are. Played a career high 137 games, proved these are just kind of, this is a fluke year. 18 doubles, 28 home runs, a career high, 82 RBI, a career high, 806 OPS, not quite his 2023 level, but still really, really good from him. And that culminates in a WAR of 3.2. Tristan Casas. And then all these ratings going up. Power versus lefties up to an 84 now. Really hit well against lefties, which is great, and just a well-balanced bat. This guy we want to keep here for a long, long time. First season of Alex Bregman in Boston. He had a real good year. 164 hits in 154 games. 36 doubles, 25 home runs. Exactly what we wanted from him. Not striking out a whole bunch. OPS over 800. Beautiful. WAR of about 2. Fine. We'll take it. 3 more years of this, 2 more years of this, and we are laughing to the bank. Trevor Story offensively, not great. We kind of benched him the last month of the season. Ended up with a 713 OPS. And 16 home runs, 24 doubles. Basically put up what he did his first year in Boston, but in more games. So kind of less impressive. I don't know. It's just, this is an albatross contract. We're on it for a while. He has the opt-in, which he's definitely going to opt in. It'd be silly for him not to. So, yeah, we're going to have to
find a way to finagle around here. I mean, the numbers are going up. They're doing what they can. I mean, obviously the fielding is good. He had a positive WAR despite this, but it's Marcel Meyer's time, and it's trying to figure out what we're going to do with Story and Yoshida and these contracts we just can't really get rid of. It's frustrating. San Rafaela finished with a worse offensive year than he had last year, which is unfortunate. As we were just looking for him to kind of repeat this, and he accidentally took a step back. However, the defense made up for it, cut the strikeouts down a whole lot, but still not getting the job done. Blake Sable in limited time, he was pretty good. 53 games, 764 OPS, and ended up having a positive WAR season. David Hamilton, we talked about him earlier. Willie Abreu, he did not have a really good season. 10 home runs in 105 games, after putting up 15 in basically half, basically the same amount of plate appearance or at bats, because he was getting platooned a whole lot like he was here. But a real big step back from Willier. That is unfortunate, and hopefully he can not do that again, because that would be good. Yoshida, not good against lefties, but the numbers moved up. I mean, he's solid, but there's just nowhere to play him. Again, we just don't want to play him and keep all these young guys. You probably heard me talking in the video, talking about our thoughts and where we're supposed to go with this, and what the offseason is going to look like. But yeah, it was porous. Connor Wong took a step back offensively. I think he's a big regression candidate in real life, just because of how BABIP heavy he was. But 17 home runs, which is a career high, 57 RBI, a career high, but playing every day, just didn't hit 280 like he did last year. That's the thing. Russ Snyder was fine. Roman Anthony, his short time in Boston wasn't great. 35 games, we gave him every opportunity to go out there and struggle, do his thing. Had 5 home runs, 6 walks, 560 OPS, but he struggled against lefties this year, but the power was up against righties. Everything moved up. The discipline is moving up. Everything's moving up exactly the way we thought. Definitely in the running to start with the team as a 21-year-old next year. Marcelo Meyer, he had a real good year, especially against lefties contacts-wise. Had probably the best AAA season out of the big three, and I guess they sent down Christian Campbell. We'll take a look at him in just a second. But 11 hits, 5 doubles, 1 home run, which we saw on camera, 21 strikeouts, though, in 21 games, not the best, and 465 OPS. So Meyer's going to be interesting. Where do we find a spot for him? Is he going to be a bench guy? Are we going to have to just start him in AAA or do we just bite the bullet, not play Story, and roll with Meyer? Who knows what we add, what we do, and I guess they put Christian Campbell down here. So in 45 games, Campbell actually did the best of everyone, has 700 OPS, 5 home runs, a couple triples, 9 doubles. He started off good, cooled off, and then jumped right back up to being good, and definitely showed he was the most major league ready, especially against righties. Went power up. Lefties, actually, he struggled against this year, but everything else he progressed in exponentially in a really good year from Christian Campbell. Pitching-wise, I mean, there's not much to write home about this year. Garrett Crochet had 188 strikeouts, 172 innings, but, the ERA was fine. Like, he was just fine. He wasn't quite ace-like. Did have almost a 4 WAR. The K per 9s were down, but just in this game, you don't get to these K per 9 totals. He was just fine. A 3.24 whip's really good, but nothing crazy. Brian Bayo came, I think, on as of late a 3.81 ERA, but did not have a great start to the season. But as he has in his whole career, just went out there and posted through innings. I get 33 home runs this year, which was quite atrocious. See, that's one that didn't go up, but didn't have that jump year, and the ERA has been steadily going up and up and up each of his seasons. Hopefully it goes back to the other side of 4 next year. Justin Wilson, very solid in 70 games for us, 2.51 ERA. Liam Hendricks, you will not be back. I'll cut you or whatever. I'll cut you like I'm going to take a knife to him. No. 6.4.7 ERA. This could be the end of his career. Tannehill was just all right. Definitely a big step back from last year. Pitched more games but threw less innings. 8 losses, only 5 wins. Not like that's super big or anything. But also gave up 25 home runs, which is uncharacteristic from him. Is what it is. Gunnar Crawford played half the season, just about a 5 ERA, especially down the stretch, wasn't that good. Is what it is. Justin Slayton, he was good, ended up being our closer towards the end. Only about two saves in the end here, but he ended up being all right. He's gonna be our closer until proven otherwise right now. Really like what he brings. Austin Adams, okay. Lucas Giolito, he's gone. Greg Weissert, bad. Garrett Whitlock, good. Like ourselves some Garrett Whitlock. Played 33 games, 80 innings, 3.15 ERA. I'd like to see the innings stay the same, but the games maybe jump up to like 50, 60. He was one of our key guys. Maybe it's just now that they have that update, I have to kind of adjust where I put him in the bullpen slot. Patrick Sandoval got lit up towards the end here, but actually was doing pretty well to start. And then Brendan Bernardino, we talked about him being hurt. Anyone that got sent down, that was Cooper Criswell, actually jumped up to a B potential, which is weird. He wasn't really that good. Zach Kelly for us this year, really solid. 80 games, 80 innings, 3.57 ERA. Pretty good. This guy's going to be in our bullpen for a little bit here, and that is going to do it. Before we wrap up, we're going to take a look at the league leaders, and then we're going to take a look at any award winners that we might have had. So we're just going to kind of move. We'll talk about anyone. So it looks like Rafael Devers, 184 hits. That's in there. Jarren Duran, 41 doubles, which is top 5. 10 triples, which is leading the league. Devers, third in home runs, tie with Peterson. And then right behind Aaron Judge and Gunnar Henderson. It's like funny you hit 49 home runs and your power goes down. That's just how good Judge is. The Judge leading batting average he did. So Judge triple crowned. That's the MVP, is what it is. Devers, 5th in runs scored. Duran, 2nd in stolen bases. Where else? 3rd in slugging is Devers. 4th in OPS is Devers. Wins, pitching side of things. I don't think we're going to have many people here except for Garrett Crochet leading the league in strikeouts, which is big, sick, nasty with it. Tarek Skubal right behind him. And Tarek Skubal is an absolute freak of nature. Complete games, 3 from Lopez. Crochet, only 32 walks allowed as well. So another thing about him, he's not going to walk a whole bunch of guys, which is great to see. I love that. Whip, no one's there. Crochet had the 4th best pitching WAR. Batting WAR, our leader was, again, 4 wins. So Devers probably down there. And that is going to do it for the American League. National League looks like this. Acuna, 320 batting average. Shohei's a freak who led the league in doubles and triples and was 5th in home runs. Marcell Ozuna had 48 of those things. Pete Alonso, with his newly assembled team, was eating in the RBI department with how good this team was. Freddie Freeman, 111 runs. Corbin Carroll, 57 stolen bases. Very, very good from him. PCA and Nico Horner, a couple of Cubs up there as well. On base percentage goes to Ronald Acuna Jr. again, and he's top 5 in OPS with Bryce Harper and Shohei, the 2 1,000 OPS guys. Ronaldo Lopez, again, having a really solid season, same leading the league in wins. Blake Snell and Roki Sasaki right behind him, both of those guys exceptional. Tanner Scott, 60 saves just about. Oh boy, he's really good. Shota Imanaga led the league in ERA. Rhett Lauder, a rookie, lowest in home runs given up. He has 94 home runs per 9, and that's awesome, especially him playing in Cincinnati. Roki Sasaki, 2 complete game shutouts. Blake Snell led the league in strikeouts. He had 3 200 strikeout guys. Sasaki, 2 complete games. Imanaga led the league in innings. Sasaki in his first season throws 200. And pitching WAR goes to Shota Imanaga, Chris Sale behind him, Ranger Suarez 3rd, and the batting WAR leaders Shohei, Bryce Harper, and Francisco Lindor. Awards, Judge is your MVP with Santander and Gunnar Henderson all in the running. So it's the American League East Award, it looks like. Zach Eflin is going to win the Cy Young with a 2.90 ERA. Batting title, the Judge, we don't already know that he was the MVP. Batting title, probably Hank Aaron Award, and also with, what am I looking for? The Triple Crown. Griffin Jacks, 54 saves, good for him. Braden Taylor is your Rookie of the Year. Kobe Mayo behind him, and Jacob Wilson comes in third. So 140 games for you, 83 games for you, 90 games for you. Hopefully one of our guys, if they're still rookie eligible, will get that next year. Here are your Gold Glove winners. Casas second in first base, didn't quite win. Duran third in left field. And that's it. Silver Sluggers looked like this. I'm sure we're going to get Devers at third. Rafael Devers at third. And no one in the outfield for us. In the National League, Pete Alonso is your MVP. Okay, I would have gone Shohei, but whatever. Blake Snell, your Cy Young. The batting title goes to Acuna Jr. Tanner Scott, reliever of the year. Sasaki runs away with Rookie of the Year. Griffin Conine and Davidson De Los Santos pull up the rear there to Marlins, who are getting plenty of time to be very bad. Hank Aaron Award goes to Bryce Harper. And then here are your Gold Glove Award winners. Pause, Ryan McMahon, shout out the Rockies. Ezekiel Tavar, shout out the Rockies. Pause if you want to kind of see Brett Doyle, shout out the Rockies. And then here are your Silver Sluggers with Ohtani just being a freak. He's so good, man. William Contreras, really good as well. Tel Marte, Austin Riley. Connor Norby, watch out for him in real life. If you're a fantasy player, try to grab him. That's what I did. We'll see if that works. Mookie Betts as a shortstop now, 149 games. 855 OPS. Mookie Betts, very good baseball player. Fun fact, Juan Soto, his first year in the Queens is a replica of his first year in the Bronx, but better in less time. And wins a Silver Slugger. James Wood, watch out for this guy. He's incredible. Corbin Carroll, watch out for him. He's great as well. Another thing I want to mention before we jump out of here and head to the off season, I did move some potentials around and some ratings for players. There are some guys that just mostly prospects here. Again, as we did with a couple of the guys in the Red Sox, some prospects were just a little weird. I just moved some of the stuff around, kept them around the same overall. Only like one big jump happened. I think Carson Williams, he had 20 power, so he's had 25 home runs the last like 2 years. Like he's a premier power threat, so I moved his power up. Moved some potentials around. If you notice, there were only, I think, like 4 or 5 A potential minor leaguers when you start boot up the game, which is fine if they didn't give us like 10 to 11 in every draft class. So I boosted up some potential, some like real high profile guys. I moved up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but I just want to let you know that. But anyway, that's going to do it. The first season of the Red Sox franchise is over. And with that, it unfortunately wasn't the best. But we see the future. We saw the right now. We're looking forward to next year and see what's going on. Before we do that, actually, we had a bad year where we were 72 wins in 90. Angels, Astros, and White Sox behind us in that department. And in the National League, there are 4 teams. So we're going to be picking, hopefully, in the top 10, unless we get screwed with whatever. But maybe we even jump up because some of these teams have been picking in the top 10, top 3 the last couple of years. But anyway, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know how you're digging the franchise. Can we bounce back in year 2? What's a free agent? Who's a free agent you want me to go after and go try to grab? We'll see you next time. Let's improve this team. Let's play postseason baseball in 2026. Sorry for the disappointment. We'll see you next time with some better stuff.